The stage lights of the bodybuilding world shimmer like distant stars, but for Nick Walker, they were never just lights. They were a promise. A promise that one day the world would witness what relentless discipline, unbreakable mindset, and absolute obsession could create. His journey didn't begin under the spotlight. It began in silence, in pain, in the echo of weights slamming against the gym floor long before anyone knew the name Mutant. Nick Walker was never built for ordinary. From the very beginning, his reflection stared back with a message. This path will not be easy, but it will be yours. Every rep carved a new piece of his identity. Every set was a new definition of hunger. While others trained to look better, Nick trained like a man fighting a war. Every workout a battlefield, every session an all-or-nothing confrontation with himself. Sweat was not just sweat, it was the currency he paid to reshape destiny. As the world slept, Nick's day started. The alarm clock didn't wake him, his purpose did. The gym doors opened before sunrise, and the air was cold, heavy, silent. But the moment he wrapped his fingers around that first iron bar, everything inside him lit on fire. His training wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. With every breath he took and every weight he lifted, he forged a new version of himself, stronger, harder, more monstrous, yet more disciplined. People called him a genetic freak, a mass monster, a walking storm of muscle. But what they didn't see were the nights he questioned everything, the mornings he dragged himself out of bed even when his body begged him to stop. They didn't see the loneliness of chasing greatness, the sacrifices hidden behind the size, the ripped muscle, the freaky conditioning. They didn't see the exhaustion he masked with focus, the pain he turned into fuel. Nick Walker's journey was never meant to be glamorous, it was meant to be legendary. He knew pain more intimately than most people know comfort. When his muscles screamed, he listened, but he didn't stop. When doubt whispered, he answered with work. When obstacles stood in front of him, he didn't walk around them, he shattered through. His mindset was engineered to endure. His willpower was built to dominate. Training for Nick wasn't a routine, it was a ritual. The iron didn't lie. It didn't care who you were. It didn't care about excuses, bad days, or broken moments. And that's why Nick loved it. Because the iron only responded to effort, to sacrifice, to grit. And Nick gave it everything. Every rep was a declaration, I am here. I am coming. I will not be denied. Day after day, meal after meal, rep after rep, Nick sculpted a physique that didn't just impress, it terrified. Veins crawling across granite muscle, proportions pushed to the edge of human possibility, shoulders like armor plates, arms that looked forged in a furnace, legs thick enough to support a kingdom. He wasn't just a bodybuilder. He was an event. But the climb was steep. Every prep came with its demons. Hunger that felt like fire burning from the inside out. Cardio sessions that made his lungs feel like they were breaking. Posing practice that twisted his body into painful perfection. And still, he showed up. Not because he had to, because he was chosen for this path. The world started to take notice. Competitions roared with energy when he stepped on stage. Cameras flashed. Commentators whispered. Fans screamed. And opponents watched with a mix of awe and fear. Nick Walker was rewriting the standard. He was proving that freaky size and razor conditioning could exist together. He was proving that the mutant was real. But beyond the roar of the crowd, there was a deeper story, one carved in sweat, pain, and purpose. A story of a man who refused to give up. A man who refused to let the world decide his limits. A man who built himself from the ground up, who faced insecurities, who endured criticism, who walked through storms and still kept moving. Nick Walker wasn't chasing a trophy. He was chasing immortality. Every competition was another chapter. Every prep was another battle. Every improvement was another victory against the one opponent who mattered most, his former self. He didn't train to beat others, he trained to destroy the version of himself from yesterday. And when he finally walked backstage before stepping onto the Olympia stage, he felt that familiar fire in his chest, a fire that had been burning since the beginning. The world saw a monster, a freak, a mass machine. But Nick felt something else, a boy who turned his dream into a weapon. The lights hit him, the crowd erupted, and for a moment, time stopped. This was the culmination of early mornings, late nights, failures, heartbreaks, and relentless determination. His pose wasn't just a pose, it was a declaration of war. His presence wasn't just presence, it was domination. Because Nick Walker wasn't made. He was forged. Forged in struggle. Forged in sacrifice. Forged in ambition. And as he stood there, veins snaking across a physique that looked carved from stone, he knew the truth. The journey wasn't over. It was just beginning. The mutant was still evolving, still rising, still hungry for more. Greatness isn't a destination. It's a state of becoming. And Nick Walker is becoming unstoppable.